So good morning, it's 18 minutes to 9, looking around some other stories now that have caught our fancy. And Sean, let's begin with yourself.
Well, I've got a story this morning about a particularly expensive games console.
Right.
So this is an old, rare console. It was a Nintendo PlayStation.
Well, that's going back a bit.
This was only ever a prototype, never really came to the open market. It was going to be a collaboration between Nintendo and Sony, who of course did go on to do the PlayStation. But yeah, this has been stashed in someone's attic for years and has sold at auction for $300,000.
That's all right, isn't it? Something that never really sort of made the market as such. That's not bad at all. You long for that kind of thing, don't you?
You kind of hope, don't you, that you've got one of these things stashed away somewhere.
I'm going to be looking later.
What computers did you play as a youngster, Tim?
I've done the PlayStation thing, but not that, I'm afraid.
No, I think the Nintendo 64, I think, was where I started.
So what time would this have been? What sort of era? Would this be
mid to late 90s?
Yeah, it was the Amstrad CPC for me. Bit of Alan Sugar going on in our house with the Amstrad, where you had to put the cassettes in and load them. It took about 15 minutes to load a game in those days. I mean, it's one of those, seems unbelievable now, doesn't it? So $300,000 was it?
So yeah, and this was apparently the first one that had the CD-ROM.
Oh.
So this was looking at using the CD for the first time.
Do you remember when you were doing loading and everything of even a computer in the old days, wasn't it? You just got that dreaded message that would stick there, buffering.
Oh yeah, that's it. And we were talking about this last night, the early days of broadband, dial-up and all of that. And if
the noises.
Yeah, that's it. And if you rang somebody and they were engaged for an hour, you're like, oh, they're on the internet. So it's bizarre, isn't it, looking back? But $300,000, not bad at all. Now then, you have a story related to a little tipple. Is this right?
Yeah, we've seen a lot of panic buying, haven't we, in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak, and I've even noticed it on the Isle of Man with bread, the shelves being pretty empty pretty early in the day. But the UK government is going to try and tackle fake news about the coronavirus outbreak by setting up an expert team to counter disinformation. So it's almost on a war footing, isn't it?
It's sort of getting that way, isn't it? Yeah.
But there have been a lot of false claims about the vaccine, about cures that have circulated on social media. And, of course, they often attract hundreds and thousands of shares. But one of them, which sadly isn't true, is that the quinine in tonic water will help fight coronavirus.
So that's not true then?
No,
that's fake
the rumour
news.
You may have seen, unfortunately, is fake news. So
that is a shame.
Drinking gin and tonic is not going to keep it away.
I think I'd have been bulletproof if that was true.
I mean, that would have been a great cure, wouldn't it?
You'd have ditched your ginger ale, wouldn't you?
Well,
and gone with tonic water if there's any truth in it.
That is my favourite mixer with an old glass of gin there is the ginger ale. But yeah, I mean, quinine supposedly very good for lots of things, but they're not coronavirus.
Not coronavirus, despite what you might see on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and whatever the other social media services you are attached to.
So we can rule that one out. So the toilet roll, again, seems to be the one which across the water is running out rapidly.
Disinfectant
wipes. Yes. I think, was it only 6 bottles per person I saw on the news last night in certain
Rationing is
supermarkets.
coming in.
They've had to start limiting it in some of them, haven't they?
So we'll see how it goes. But there won't be a rush on gin and tonic then. That's the thing.
Well, we're hoping not.
This is it. We could pretend, couldn't we? And finally from me, this is a bizarre one. Researchers are investigating how many hedgehogs are killed on Britain's roads in a bid to help the declining population. Now, this is a team at Nottingham Trent University who will also study whether tunnels under roads could reduce the number of hedgehog and general sort of animal deaths on the roads. Experts believe hedgehogs are struggling with lost habitats, increased competition and traffic, but they are doing a study as to whether actual tunnels help, because certain places across the water do have them. And I think, Sean, was in Tynwald or Keys a question was asked about this.
It was in Tynwald last month, I think. They were talking about road safety in general.
Was it Martin Perkins?
It was Martin Perkins who brought up hedgehog underpasses, I think was the term that was used. So maybe we get them over here. Who knows?
Well, they are a thing across, as I say, because this study will take place in a dozen sites across the UK, 6 of which have tunnels of various sizes to help animals pass under roads safely. So, yeah, could this be a new thing, do you think?
Well, might find hedgehogs bully each other. There'll be the big bully hedgehog will be in the tunnel ready to pounce.
And the lesser ones could be
So they'll
crossing the road.
They'll take the road.
How do they know that that's for them? That that's the way they're meant to go?
It's well, this study will hopefully reveal all. So
Good.
You heard it here first. This question in Tim Ward last month. You never know what might come to fruition here.